NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
The defending Class A champions from Bellevue West and Omaha Creighton Prep for the Class A championship game. Bellevue West has been the team of the year in Class A. They have been the most dominating force really for the past 2 years. Doug Woodard has assembled a tremendous program at Bellevue West. This will be their 5th state championship game appearance in the last 7 years. This team knows how to get it done. They know how to get here and make things happen, and they are led by one of the most talented players in the state in Josh Doetzler, who we will talk plenty about in this broadcast. Creighton Prep, everything comes in threes with them. They have the third most tournament appearances in history. They have the third most championships and the third most finals appearances in history. So everything comes in threes for Creighton Prep. They're obviously hoping that threes come in bunches today for them, not for Bellevue West. Prep may have been the 6th seed, Andrew, coming in, but I think they were a very underrated 6th seed because they took on a Southeast team that had lost some key players down the stretch, and Prep has played very good basketball since the last time these two teams played, a game that was won by Bellevue West.
Yeah, they have really come into their own in this postseason, starting with really at districts. They blew out Lincoln East, which was a pretty good team in their district final. They went head-to-head with the best post player in the state in Matt Hill at Lincoln Southeast. They played their game, were able to beat Southeast handedly, and they took Omaha Central to the rack as well. So very deserving to be in this game is Creighton Prep.
And Nebraska football fans, you'll want to keep your eye on the big guy in the middle for Creighton Prep. It's Zach Potter, who plans to play defensive end, but the way he runs, heck, he might be a running back. You'll have to keep an eye on him. He's fun to watch. Stay there. We'll be back. It's the Class A championship after this.
All across the state, Nebraskans use electricity every day. And that electricity is 100% publicly owned. So profits don't go to stockholders, but are returned to Nebraskans. And because the power is supplied to Nebraskans by Nebraskans, it's reliable. Always there when you need us. NPPD, together with your local public power utility.
Programming is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 15 years, Education Quest has offered free college planning services. These services include scholarship searches, student loan information, college selection, and help with completing financial aid application. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments are available at 800-666-3721.
Sunday morning at 10 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
John Bishop, Andrew Felios back with you at the Devaney Center for the Class A championship between the Junior Jays of Creighton Prep and the Thunderbirds of Bellevue West. Bellevue West is a team very familiar with being in this position because they've been here, as I mentioned, this is their 5th tournament final in the last 7 years. It's a program that has talent up and down the board. They can run with you, but they don't have a lot of size, and that may come into Creighton Prep's advantage today with Zach Potter.
Outstanding. Creighton Prep's going to have to get it to the big guys, and if you're Bellevue West, you want to keep the ball in the hands of Josh Doetzler, Jacob Martin, Mike Jenkins. Let those guys do the work for you. Make it an up-tempo game.
One thing, though, in that battle of the big men against Southeast, it ended up being the guards for Creighton Prep that won that game. Let's meet the Jays and the T-Birds.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Nebraska Stroll Activities Association, welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center for the 2005 Nebraska High School Boys State Basketball Tournament. Now for today's Class A championship game between the 26-1 Bellevue West Thunderbirds and the 17-6 Omaha Creighton Prep Junior Jays. Here are the lineups. First, the non-starters for Bellevue West. Number 3, Jamal Evans. Number 10, J.T. Fluellen. Number 14, Tyler Vandemet. Number 24, Jace Fredenberg. Number 30, Antoine Young. Number 50, Trey Lamont. And number 52, Billy Delano. And now the non-starters for Omaha Creighton Prep. Number 4, Hank Jenkins. Number 12, Andy Cannon. Number 21, Seth Pear. Number 22, Matt Miller. Number 30, Nick McCormick. Number 50, Dan Glassman. And number 54, Dan Harmon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the Bellevue West Thunderbirds. A 6'5" junior, number 4, Jake Meyer. A 6'3" senior, number 5, Chris Howard. A 6'1" senior, number 12, Josh Stoltzler. A 6'3" senior, number 20, Michael Jenkins. And a 6'1" junior, number 32, Jeff Martin. The assistant coaches for the Thunderbirds are Steve Willett, Troy Wharton, Jim Buswell, and John Morrow. And the head coach for Bellevue West, Doug Woodard. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the Omaha Creighton Prep Junior Jays. A 5'7" junior, number 3, Richard Marion. A 6'1" senior, number 15, Joe Temmie. A 6'7" junior, number 32, MD King. A 6'7" senior, number 44, Zach Potter. And a 6'5" senior, number 52, Ben Burnham. The assistant coaches for the Junior Jays are Eric Thompson, Scott Simonson, and Brad Burks. And the head coach for Creighton Prep is Josh Lukey. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for today's Class A championship game are Joe Wells and Jeff Wolf. The bench official is Chuck Lewis.
Well, these two teams not short on enthusiasm. The last 2 times these two teams met, in the first matchup early in the season at the Metro Tournament, it was won by Bellevue West 74-58. And the last matchup went 89-67 in favor of Bellevue West. And this is what makes this Bellevue West team so amazing. Their only loss was by 1 point to Omaha Central, but they are averaging 27-point margin of victory, which is not unusual if you're talking about smaller classes. But for Class A, and when you consider that Bellevue West has played a number of out-state schools, such as Kickapoo, Missouri, which is in the state Final Four in Missouri, and Kansas City O'Hara, which features Nebraska recruit Marcus Walker, this team not only beat you, they beat you.
They are the closest thing to a college caliber basketball team that I think we'll see today, John.
Creighton Prep wins the jump, and here's Potter inside. They're going to front him. They're going to put 2-3 guys on him if they can. And there's a turnover right off the bat as Marion can't handle it. Prep's turnaround is in large part to Richard Marion, number 3, and Joe Temmie, who did not start. Well, actually, he did. He's number 15. These two guys have been asked to carry the load as far as handling the basketball, and they've had much better success, winning 8 of 9 in the regular season, as there's a reverse layup as Chris Howard goes in for the first two. You'll see West pressure you the whole game.
All right, you saw the quickness of Chris Howard right there. Zach Potter moves well, but he beat him that time off the dribble.
And it rolls off the rim. He's got a good shot. He can hit from the outside if necessary, but you obviously want to utilize him down in the post and take advantage of his size. He is the biggest player on the floor. Bellevue West features 6'7" Billy Delano, but Billy Delano is by no means Zach Potter when it comes to size. Zach Potter goes around 260, 265, and he can run the floor very well, which is why he is such a valued recruit in Nebraska's football system. Down the floor, Timmy walked.
Yeah, he is not going to be as comfortable making those types of moves as the players for Bellevue West are. And one thing about Bellevue West, too, Doug Woodard told me that they really respect every opponent that they play, even though they are nationally ranked and they get all the attention. You see Jeff Martin knocking down the three right there. They really come into every single game with a good mindset. No letdowns from this team.
This is a team that scored 28 points in the first quarter and essentially put the game away early against Lincoln Northeast. A team that's probably as close to Bellevue West as being athletic as any team in the state. Omaha Central would also qualify a great deal. Just beyond the free throw line, and the first two for the Junior Jays is Ben Burnham. Burnham averages 5 points a game and has the first two here. Three from the top of the key is short by Jake Meyer.
Look out.
Prep wants to run with it. Now they'll slow it up. Into the front court for Potter. He'll take it up through. Hidden Dev of outlet to go to. And we've got a foul on Richard Marion.
And Potter was lucky he didn't get called for a charge that time. He took it straight to the goal, but there was nowhere to go. West defenders are going to be all over him this afternoon. I think this player right here in front of us, Mike Jenkins, is as underrated a player as you're going to see. Does everything. Plays defense, rebounds it. He can score, slashes to the hole, probably the quickest player on the floor.
And when you consider he averages 17 points a game, he's the leading scorer as Doetzler takes the three. Offensive rebound and a foul. But you're right. I mean, this team, you think of the Bellevue West, you think of Josh Doetzler. He's getting obviously the attention and is the Creighton recruit. But you're right about Jenkins. He is indeed a very, very gifted athlete. First free throw is short. Chris Howard, who averages 5 points a game, scored 8 in the opening night victory over Grand Island. And had 2 yesterday in the win over Lincoln Northeast.
Looks like we got a little bit of a mix-up there. I think he heard a whistle, but wasn't sure. It came from the Creighton Prep, I think. It came from the student body, and now the officials are going to ask one of the supervisors over there for Creighton Prep to not blow that whistle.
You know, that's not unusual. It sounded like the same thing was happening in the Southeast game on Thursday. It sounded like there was a whistle coming from the stands. And in fact, Matt Hill hesitated on one of his free throws very early in the game, similar to this situation.
And I have a feeling you're not going to have the culprit come out and give up his whistle.
No, probably not.
We have to do a little bit more observing as far as who that is.
There's probably no more fanatical student section in the state than the Creighton Prep student section.
They really get into it.
Yeah. Missed the second free throw. Zach Potter with the rebound. Of course, a great athletic program at Prep. No one's more state Class A championships in football than Prep. As I mentioned in the pregame, they have the third most basketball titles in the state tournament. They have won 10 state titles in 14. This will be their 15th appearance on Championship Saturday. And you usually get the traditional chanting back and forth between the student sections.
Nice shot.
And there's a 2, that's a long 2 by Andy King to make it a 1-point game. Tie up, Bellevue West basketball.
Well, that's exactly what Creighton Prep wants. They want to limit touches. It seems like we've done a lot of games today where you got one team that likes to run, the other team likes to play more in the half-court game, but that's exactly the story in this one. Creighton Prep has good athletes, but they would rather this come out of the half-court game and rather limit possessions of Bellevue West.
They got off to a good start yesterday. This ball is saved, but into the wrong hands.
Oh, nice move.
Great move by Richard Marion, as he went up against 3 defenders and in good body control as he left his feet. And the Junior Jays have their first lead of the game at 6-5. Dotzler will take the 3, and it rims out. And that'll be Creighton Prep basketball as Jake Meyer touched it last.
We saw, too, on that last play, a rare turnover from Josh Dotzler. Not many weaknesses to his game. Now, though, Bellevue West into the press. Let's see how they can break it.
And they do, right down the floor, in the paint. And he gets the friendly bounce. Dan Glassman. It's 8-5 Creighton Prep. Meyer between defenders, high off the glass, missed. Rebound to Prep. Hank Jenkins. And the Junior Jays off to a good start at 8-5 halfway through this first quarter. Look underneath. Potter! Oh, he looked like he was fumbling it. What good work of his fingers, as it looked like Potter was just losing it off his tips, but still was able to put up a good shot. Open 3 missed, and you can see Bellevue West is going to take their fair share of outside jumpers. Many times down the floor, they get that one shot early in the offense, but so far those shots are not falling. Timeout on the floor, Creighton Prep by 5.
Bryan LGH West is bringing advanced neuroscience technology to Nebraska, offering the state's first gamma knife radiosurgery to non-invasively treat brain tumors and severe facial pain, and working with Nebraska's only physician specially trained in coiling for brain aneurysms. Just 2 examples of our commitment to neuroscience care for Nebraskans and our neighbors. Bryan LGH, the first name in healthcare.
Sunday morning at 10 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Back at the Class A championship, that's Joseph Temme. Nice penetration look there to Zach Potter. He gets that one to go. 2 points so far for Potter.
Got a quick 2 off the inbounds play for Bellevue West. And it's now a 3-point game and another near turnover. Prep basketball on a 3-point lead. Jenkins for Potter.
Nice.
Great pass!
Beautiful.
Wow! And credit Dan Glassman, because that ball was coming at him at 90 miles an hour. That was a beautiful assist, though, by Zach Potter.
Yeah, this is definitely a different Prep team than Bellevue West saw earlier this season.
Potter with another rebound. He's got 5 rebounds early in this game. It's 12-7. Creighton Prep, and there comes the All-Stater. Dotzler with the steal and the easy layup. What a special player he is. You know, they talk it in Blue Jay country, talking Creighton, of course, that having him on the team next year will make the Blue Jays even better. And that's coming from a team that is an NCAA qualifier this year, as Richard Marion hits on the 2, and it's back to a 5-point game. Another 3. Short.
Now, John, I think if there's one weakness to Dotzler's game, it's outside shooting. I don't think he is the best shooter that a point guard could be. Still a great player, don't get me wrong. But I think the more looks that Josh Dotzler takes, I think you want to make him a shooter. If you're going to strategize against him, make him shoot the basketball.
Certainly. So far, he has been held to just 2 points. Dotzler with the rebound off the miss. Open 3 is good by Michael Jenkins. And it's now down to a 2-point lead with under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Temme up ahead to Jenkins, across the floor to Marion. Down low, Potter had it stripped away. All-Stater versus All-Stater, football and basketball. Down the floor, great assist, and the layup is good by Jay Spredenberg, and we are all of a sudden tied after Prep had a 5-point lead, and we've got a foul.
You got to wonder, how long can Creighton Prep continue this pace? This has been a torrid pace here in the first quarter. Can they keep this going for 4 quarters? I think eventually they're going to have to slow this basketball game down.
Minute 35 left and a timeout taken, a 30-second timeout taken by Prep. You know, your strategy is sometimes when you play a team this fast, as you take a look at that strip by Doetzler, and then here comes the feed for the 2. You sometimes try to slow things down to the point where you frustrate the team with the up-tempo, but you really can't do that with Bellevue West because you miss a shot, and you've got to get back quickly on defense because West is going to come right at you. They are not going to take their time getting into the front court. Always running, always on the attack.
You cannot celebrate buckets when you're playing Bellevue West. And I think one of the main reasons is number 12, Josh Doetzler. He never gets rattled. You're not going to see a lot of emotion out of him. He's like got that straight-looking face the entire ball game. It doesn't matter what his team's doing or the other team's going. He's always going to be there, as he's proved to Zach Potter in this early going.
Seth Bear into the front court for Prep. To Richard Marion. A minute 23 left first quarter. Game is tied at 14. Bear just about lost it. Now he's being trapped. He needs help. Gives it away to Ben Burnham.
Not pick up your dribble. Josh Lutke said we've got to start our offense. We can't start it at the half-court line. We got to start it at the three-point line. We got to be able to get into our offense.
A lot of reserves out on the floor for Creighton Prep. Up top, there's Doetzler with the steal. You cannot telegraph your pass, and Bellevue West is back on top. Andy King was really just asleep at the wheel. He needed to be more aggressive going after that ball. And Doetzler made him pay. 16-14 Thunderbirds, under 35 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Marion. 3 from the corner, short. Rebound to Doetzler. And again, quickly down the floor. Great feed underneath. And we'll have a foul and free throws coming up as he found Antoine Young. Doetzler is so good at seeing the entire floor.
I think he's the only player in Nebraska high school basketball that can make that pass that we just saw. And not just make it one time, make it consistently throughout the game without committing a turnover.
There's the first free throw for Young, who averages 6 points a game, was shut out in the game against Grand Island, but scored 10 yesterday over Lincoln Northeast. 17-14 Thunderbirds. Missed one. So he goes 1 for 1 on that trip. Now with 20 seconds left, Jays find themselves down 3. Thunderbirds on a 8-0 run right here. Into the front court.
That's where you want it, right there.
And a foul. They got Chris Howard coming in over the back, and that'll send Dan Glassman to the line with 10 seconds left here in the first quarter.
I'll tell you, this player right here, number 50, Dan Glassman, what a physique, as they say, on him. Won't forget that game on Thursday. Matt Hill, one of the best players in the state, probably the best post player. Dan Glassman went right at him. He went right at him a few times and was able to get the bucket. This player is not afraid and is a nice compliment to Zach Potter down on the blocks.
Very much so. Makes the first. Here's the second. It's a 1-point game. 10 seconds left. Young will bring it across. He'll take the 3. Yes! How's that? Right off the bench, and he drills the 3 to end the first quarter. Bellevue West found themselves down 5 early, but they've come back to take a 4-point lead into the second quarter.
Programming on NETV is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. Soy biodiesel is a soy-based, clean-burning, renewable fuel that can be blended with petroleum diesel to help reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. Soy biodiesel, making a difference for soybean farmers and you.
Programming is provided in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska.
These cost about $50. This costs about $57,000. Choosing to use these can help you avoid this. And since inactivity is a better predictor of death than smoking, high blood pressure, and even heart disease, using these more and this less could save you more than money. A message that's good to know from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Just before the half, there you see the three-pointer. That was Antoine Young, a big lift. He came in off the bench and was able to get the last laugh there before the quarter. Good player there.
To give you an idea how deep this Bellevue West team is, they've had 11 different scorers in this state tournament. They can go to their bench and have confidence in a lot of the people they bring out on the floor. Temmie goes across for Marion. Prep down by 4 here. Zach Potter back in the game. He's down in the blocks trying to get it. Has it. Off the glass, yes.
Oh, that's a nice touch. Big man's got a great touch.
But you got to get back quickly on defense. Oh, that was almost good as he tried the whirlwind layup. Instead, it ends up Prep basketball. Entry pass low and a foul is coming up on Jace Fredenberg.
You saw, though, how quickly, even though Jenkins missed that shot, how quickly Bellevue West gets back down the floor. It's just amazing.
You almost have to make sure you've got somebody staying back, because even if you make the basket, Bellevue West is going to attack you down the floor. You've got to keep them honest and not let them get those kind of opportunities. Three-pointer short from Burnham. Birds will fly again. Dotzer outside, 3 from Meyer, short. Rebound to Prep, who wants to play this at a much slower pace.
There you go. Slow it down, get a good possession here, punch it inside. That's where you want it, right there.
That ball was partially deflected and goes off the back of the glass as Jake Meyer tried to save it inbounds. He doesn't understand it, but it went off the back of the glass. And it will belong to Prep on the inbounds, trailing by 2 here. 6:43 left before halftime. Long inbound, Jenkins just about got it. Comes up hobbling just a little bit. Temmie threw it for Burnham, who just lost it out of bounds. Right off his chest. That'll bring Hank Jenkins in off the bench.
Number 4, Hank Jenkins.
20-18. Dotzer in the front court for Jenkins.
Creighton Prep in a man-to-man. Be interesting to see how long they stick with that. You think the zone may work better, but they're going to match up with Bellevue West.
At the baseline, Jenkins stopped outside, so they'll go Dotzer for 3. And that one is short. Rebound pulled down by Burnham. Jays again with a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession. Entry pass, Potter. Turn around, a little strong off the glass. Offensive board and a foul.
Tell you what, though, Dan Glassman really getting on the boards. Zach Potter already 8 rebounds, too, down there. These guys are making their presence felt.
Thunderbirds still waiting for some points here in this quarter. 5:57 left, 20-18, Bellevue West.
Coverage of the 2005 State High School Basketball Championships has been brought to you in part by Nebraska's livestock industry, helping all Nebraskans appreciate the importance of livestock producers to our state and its citizens. Nebraska Livestock, we're all shareholders. Doane College is recognized in the U.S. News Guide of Top Colleges. Doane offers undergraduate and graduate degrees at its campuses in Creighton, Lincoln, and Grand Island. The Nebraska Abstinence Education Program, working to prevent teenage pregnancy and the spread of sexually transmitted disease by promoting sexual abstinence until marriage. E10 Unleaded with Ethanol helps Nebraska and its communities. Nebraska farmers and others who support E10 Unleaded with Ethanol say, let's get with it, Nebraska. Southeast Community College offers more than 40 technical and academic transfer programs and a variety of continuing education classes. There's no limit to what you can do with an education from SCC. Option herbicide, option grass control that puts you in control.
Bellevue West staying true to form. They've already squeezed off 12 three-point field goal attempts in this game, have made 3. Prep is 0 for their first 3 from beyond the arc. But so far, the battle has been won underneath the boards by Potter. He's already got 8 rebounds. There's a nice play off the inbounds as sneaking around the backside was Glassman, and we're tied at 20. Outside, open 3, Martin, yes!
Wow, what a stroke for Jeff Martin.
Here's another guy who kind of gets in under the radar. Martin averages 11 points a game. Potter takes it through the lane. Missed the jump shot. 23-20, Bellevue West. They've led most of the way. Nice fake inside. Doser high off the shot. Oh, wow. He just hung in the air and put that ball in a perfect spot. Take a look at it again as he beat Joe Temme off the dribble.
Zach Potter is going to go to the bench. He picks up his second foul on the game. And Josh Dotzler, as I said, I think as a jump shooter, he's at his least effective. When he's got the ball in his hands, making things happen and running the team, that's when he's most effective.
25-20. Thunderbirds back up by 5 again. And that ball was just literally taken away by Martin. Here's Dotzler for 2.
What body control.
Timeout, Creighton Prep. The Birds on a 7-0 run here, and it didn't take long for them to score those 7 points. 5 minutes to go before halftime, and we'll be back.
Programming is provided in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska.
Escalator or stairs? It may seem like an easy choice, but the hard truth is the illness and disease that result from inactivity cost about $76 billion a year to treat. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska, we believe that cost is much too high, and not just in terms of money. So when it comes to keeping you healthy and keeping healthcare affordable, walking works. Your health, your choice.
Sunday morning at 10 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Back at the Class A championship, I want you to watch the body control on this play. Josh Dotzler goes up. He goes right on Richard Marion. He knows he's going to get hit, but still always under control, even when under pressure.
27-20, a 7-0 run here after Prep tied the game at 20 apiece. Through the lane, he just simply lost it. Jenkins, Dotzler, he last touched it. Prep will keep the basketball.
Oh, man. Jenkins throws his body around like it's just nobody's business. He's the most wiry player I think we're going to see today.
Josh Lukey, head coach at Creighton Prep, was very upset about that last series. Through the lane, and a foul. That's going to be on Antoine Young, and that'll mean free throws for Joe Temme.
The foul's number 30, Antoine Young, his first personal foul, 15th foul against Bellevue West.
That's team foul number 5 against the Thunderbirds. That's one thing you got to hope for, a team that's this aggressive, that you can get them in foul trouble, but Bellevue West is usually not that type of team. They usually don't run into those kinds of problems, as the first free throw is good. Temme, his first point of the game.
That's what happens when you have a team with experience, guys who have played together a long time and have obviously been a close-knit group throughout the summers.
Second free throw is good, and it's a 5-point lead. Down the floor, just like that. From the corner, Young for 3, no. Rebound tipped around, Delano got his fingertips on it and batted it right out to Dotzler. Now here's Evans. Through the lane, and no. Rebound, Burnham. Glassman. Glassman with the rebound for Creighton Prep. 4:10 left here in the first half. Jays are hanging in there, but you just wonder when that next big run is going to happen for Prep. Bad pass taken away. Outlet down the floor. Bellevue West, right now they're just too quick.
Yeah.
Just too quick.
Yeah, and on that last possession, too, you saw Creighton Prep players didn't get back on defense, didn't run back down the floor. They have got to slow down this game. You see a couple of players, too, with their hands on their shorts. We've got 3:52 left to go in this first half. They're going to have to slow this game down as it goes along, and you got to wonder, too, how long is Zach Potter going to sit on the bench?
Still there right now with 2 fouls. 11 turnovers in this first half by Creighton Prep, and the Thunderbirds have committed 1. But missed the free throw, and now a foul off the miss. Jamal Evans with his first 16 foul against the Birds. 3:51 left here in the first half.
Right now, Creighton Prep shooting 60% to Bellevue West 44%. So Bellevue West, they're going to miss their shots. You just got to limit their possessions, and you can't turn the ball over. You got to take care of it.
Right, 60% field goal shooting is great, but you got to have field goal attempts.
Exactly.
And too many turnovers here in this first half. And there's another one as Jenkins, what a feed behind the back. Oh my goodness gracious.
That's big league.
Talk about control. It was as if he knew he was going to do that.
That is amazing.
I mean, it was just so natural. And another steal. This time Jenkins. Here it comes, showtime.
Timeout, Creighton Prep.
31-22. Wow. It's almost as if they're toying with you.
Wow.
Watch.
We say over and over, you got to slow the game down, but I don't know if you can slow the game down when you've got players like this. That's almost like dogs. You just say sick them, you know. That's kind of how Bellevue West is right now. They're just smelling blood, smelling the basketball.
Look at that behind the back. I mean, it was a perfect pass. It was right in to Antoine Young's hands, and he was down the floor in a heartbeat. 31-22. I don't think there's any question the best team in the state, regardless of class, is Bellevue West.
That run right
there.
So
athletic.
Yeah, that run that we just saw too, John, that was a demoralizing run for Creighton Prep. They did not get back on defense almost 3 times in a row there. Hopefully this time out, this is a key point in this ball game right here. They cannot let this game get into double figures because this is not a comeback team.
I was going to say at the end of the first quarter that, the Jays had to come up with, they had a moral victory there because Bellevue West is so good at jumping on you early and basically ending the game right there. Well, instead the jump has come here in the third quarter. Marion, Temmie, still no Zach Potter in the game right now for Prep. 5-second count is on. This team is just so aggressive.
Look at Dotzler.
And he's giving up about 5 inches there. Foul on Bellevue West. That one is going to be on Billy Delano. And that's 17 fouls against Bellevue West, so it's free throws for Creighton Prep. Dan Glassman will shoot the 1-and-1.
Checking in for the Junior Jays, number 30, Nick McCormick.
Nick McCormick into the game now for Creighton Prep, and Glassman to the free throw line. Missed the first. Dotzler again will outlet down the floor to Martin. A look inside and a foul. Billy Delano will go up for free throws.
Gorgeous look that time.
This team does not take their time on their possessions.
No.
It is very quick, very rhythmic. They always seem like they're in a flow.
That was Jamal Evans that time into the game for Bellevue West. Nice entry pass.
Back into the game, Ben Burnham, and you got to wonder what's going on with Zach Potter.
I was just about to ask that same question.
2 fouls. You don't want to get that third, but you're in danger here of really losing a handle on this game. You're down by 10 with 2.5 to go here in the second quarter, and Bellevue West has taken command of this game.
And the subs just keep coming in.
It's like waves. Now it's an 11-point lead. Need to get it in, they do. Marion against Young as they come into the front court, 2:20 left. Biggest lead of the game right now. Entry pass inside, outside, back out again. You can't even get an open three. Now Temmie's got one from long range, and he missed it. Loose on the floor, and I'm surprised that wasn't a foul.
Man.
There was a lot of contact over there.
Referees have not been calling a lot of fouls. Bellevue West, you would think Creighton Prep would be the more physical team, but in this first half, Bellevue West has been the one using their physicality.
13-point lead.
And then you get a touch foul out there around the midcourt line.
Antoine Young commits his second, team foul number 8 against the Thunderbirds. Josh Dotzler comes in now at the buzzer. That'll send Joe Temmie to the free throw line. He had 14 points yesterday in the win over Omaha Central. Averages 10 for the season.
Substitution for the Junior Jays, number 21, Seth Baird.
I would think not only for his basketball sense, but just for his athletic sense, you need a guy like Potter out there. He's a big game athlete.
He'll get the second.
With 2 fouls.
Still on the bench. I would be
surprised.
surprised if he came back in this half. Point game again. Once again, Bellevue West quickly into the front court. Dotzler that time through a double team, finds an open three.
Everybody can shoot the basketball for this Bellevue West team. No weaknesses as far as somebody who could shoot it from the perimeter. That's Jake Meyer. He's the tallest player in the starting lineup.
That's his first 3 in the game, and the lead is 14 with 1:12 left. Hanger in the lane by Temmie, no. Here comes Bellevue West on the run again. Martin for 3. And the rebound to Prep. They want to run with it. All the way in. Marion against Dotzler. You can't fight fire with fire against Bellevue West because their flame is too hot. Rebound, basket, Jake Meyer. This game's out of hand now. 16-point lead, and
got to slow it down. Surprised Josh Lukey has not maybe called a timeout, tried to gather his troops.
A 16-point advantage. Outside, 3 is short. Rebound again to the Thunderbirds, and now they'll play it slow because they're going to play for the last shot.
It's amazing, though. They force you to play fast and make you do things you don't want to do.
Jenkins with 7 seconds left. Had the ball taken away from behind. Loose on the floor. And then for some reason just got sloppy. Martin will take the long 3. And that'll end the first half of play. Josh Ludke having some words with the officials as he goes off the floor, and he is not a happy camper right now. Still having words with the officials as he leaves the floor. 40-24, Bellevue West by 16. As we go down now courtside, Kyle has Doug Woodard of Bellevue West.
Thanks, John. Drew, Coach, second quarter vintage T-Birds, and not looking for you to say this one's in the bag, but they really can't stop. You get the rebound, go transition. I mean, it seems like everything's going your way, and they can't stop you now.
Well, it's 4 quarters, and we've got to keep that pressure up and keep running the floor for 2 more quarters. The second half we did a better job of getting to their shooters and trying to limit their big guys getting easy looks inside. So, if we keep hitting the boards and get the ball out, hopefully things will work out. But it's like you say, first half means nothing.
Thanks. Well said, Coach. you guys were talking about, obviously, Lutke the other way. Didn't want Potter to get in deeper foul trouble. We'll see what happens and hear from you guys after the break.
The 2005 State High School Basketball Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, promoting soy biodiesel fuel, clean burning and renewable, making a difference for soybean farmers and you. Education Quest Foundation, improving access to college through scholarships, community grants, and college planning services. NPPD, always there when you need us. Bryan LGH Medical Center, the first name in healthcare, and by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska. The Blues are good for you.
We live in a culture of temptations. We Americans are getting hundreds of messages a day that direct us away from wellness, healthy lifestyles, good food choices. We've really set up a sort of a perfect storm of issues around food, weight, diet, health, and exercise for our children and for our adults.
The Big Fat Question, a Nebraska Connect special, raises the question about food, health issues, and attitudes about obesity. Join NET Television and a panel of experts for this live call-in program. Thursday night at 7 Central Time on NET1.
In the hidden world of the Himalaya,
to come here is a dream.
The gods are peeling off the temple walls.
They're very fragile. The Buddha said everything is impermanent.
Can the last surviving relics of an ancient kingdom be saved?
They're 15th century. They're priceless.
PBS presents Nova, Lost Treasures of Tibet.
Tuesday night at 7 Central Time on NET1.
Did she just buy a used blender or finish her college degree? From your home, on your schedule, for a better life. A college degree starts with a visit to PBS Campus. Log on to pbs.org and click on PBS Campus to find out more.
Hi folks, I'm Ricky Skaggs. Join me for All-Star Bluegrass Celebration. History in the making with the legends, the stars, and a new generation of bluegrass music. All on the same stage and only on public television.
Coming soon to NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, where the defending Class A champions are rolling towards a repeat. 40-24, they lead Bellevue West here in this first half. And as you take a look at the coaches' All-State team, really, I'd like to see the second team. Because the second team, it would be pretty good as well, because there's some guys that aren't on this list that are awful good themselves. Not to say that these guys aren't worthy of the first team, but there's a lot of talent in Class A this year. Matt Culliver, who is going to head off to UNO. They're going to have a great player. B.J. Valentine, here's a guy who, if he was a little bigger, would probably be getting a lot of Division I attention. A really special player, averages 6 assists a game, and can really change a game all by himself.
And we got to see each one of these players, too, in the state tournament. We saw Andrew Bridger of Lincoln Northeast. Of course, we get to see him throughout the year here in Lincoln. Matt Hill needs no introduction. He's received many scholarship offers. The Huskers, one of the main schools trying to recruit him. Josh Doetzler, oh man, just the total package, pound for pound, I think the best basketball player in Nebraska right now, bar none, headed to Creighton. As you mentioned, Valentine and Culliver, 2 other guys we also got to see here Thursday and Friday.
But some of the guys, like in this game, for example, Zach Potter, Michael Jenkins, who aren't on this team, McCulliver from Omaha Bryan, who is a teammate, Brandon Magruder, very good ball player. There's some really good players that weren't named, but as I said, it was a tough decision for the coaches, and the players that were picked were very deserving indeed. As you take a look at some of the fans gathered here at the Devaney Center, Believers and Achievers being awarded here at halftime of the Class A championship game, led by Bellevue West, 40-24. As they go on a tear in the second quarter, a 20-8 run in the second quarter to take command of this game. It was 20-16 after the end of the first, but Bellevue West holding off Creighton Prep to just 8 points in that second quarter, and most of that quarter was played without Zach Potter on the floor. How will that affect the second half? Well, the Jays have got a long, long road to haul now, because you're down to the best team in the state by 16, and they're not the type of team that takes their foot off the pedal anytime soon. We'll be back and take a look at the first half numbers right after this.
Omaha, Nebraska, a vibrant and growing city in the heart of America. But in the beginning, Omaha was a vast frontier ready to be tamed.
In some of the earliest writings, it's described as being inhabited mostly by wolves.
They not only have nothing to lose, but they don't have any sense of what losing is.
Meet Omaha's first families. Coming Saturday, March 19th at 8:30 Central Time on NET1 and NET HD.
PBS extends our deepest sympathies to the people affected by the South Asian tsunamis. To help those in need, visit pbs.org for a list of relief agencies. And continue to watch PBS for coverage that provides perspective and analysis.
You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
To 24, Bellevue West with the advantage at halftime. As we take a look at the first half numbers, Bellevue West already has 8 different scorers in this game, led by Jeff Martin with 10 points, including a couple of threes. Field goal shooting has been the same, but look at the difference in the number of attempts, 32-19, and a lot of that has to do with the bottom category, turnovers. 14 first half turnovers for Prep. Bellevue West has done a much better job of taking care of the ball. Just 2 turnovers in the first half. That's almost impossible to do. There's usually you're usually guaranteed at least a handful, but that's 2 fingers, 2 turnovers. For Creighton Prep, Zach Potter sat on the bench most of the second quarter, had 8 rebounds in the first half and just 4 points. Dan Glassman leading the way for the Junior Jays with 8 points. 40-24 is our halftime score. Bellevue West over Creighton Prep. Well, it looks like Creighton Prep may have to call upon the Loomis Wolves in a third quarter run like we saw in the D2 championship to get back. That spread was 16 points. But usually the aggressive team, the aggressive team's the one in front right now. We'll be back. Stay there.
Taylor is a 4.0 student who participates in volleyball.
Programming is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 15 years, Education Quest has offered free college planning services. These services include scholarship searches, student loan information, college selection, and help with completing financial aid application. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments are available at 800-666-3721.
We live in a culture of temptations. We Americans are getting hundreds of messages a day that direct us away from wellness, healthy lifestyles, good food choices. We've really set up a sort of a perfect storm of issues around food, weight, diet, health, and exercise for our children and for our adults.
The Big Fat Question, a Nebraska Connect special, raises the question about food, health issues, and attitudes about obesity. Join NET Television and a panel of experts for this live call-in program. Thursday night at 7 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Halftime festivities here at the Devaney Center with Bellevue West leading 40-24. Bellevue West ended the regular season as the #1 team in the state. Their only loss to Omaha Central. Didn't get a chance to avenge that loss in the state tournament thanks to Creighton Prep's win yesterday over the Eagles. Omaha Bryan, they earned a wild card to get here. In fact, most of the teams in the field were rated at the end of the season, with Omaha Northwest and Grand Island making it to the tournament without being rated. In fact, Grand Island was, I believe, I'm going to double check, but I believe they were a couple of games under 500 coming out. Yeah, they were 9-13 at the end of the regular season, ended up losing to Bellevue West in the first round. Let's go down now to Kyle with Josh Lutke of Creighton Prep.
Coach, thanks for joining us. We'll get you back to your team quick. You took 3 of your 5 timeouts. You know, we'd rest maybe pot or 2. It got away from you. I mean, how do you slow these guys down?
Well, we got to do a better job of handling the ball. And, you know, I don't know. We just got to handle the ball. They play defense a lot with their hands. They get away with a lot of hand checking. And you know, you just got to deal with that. And we just got to do a better job of controlling our tempo, not get into an up and down game. And we just got to be strong with the ball. And if they're going to let us play, then we're going to play. We're going to play real physical and make this a game.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Coach Lutke's got intensity. Apologize. A little hard to hear with the 2 Class A teams yelling and screaming. We're back after the break. T-Birds up 40-24.
Nebraska is the only state served completely by publicly owned power. That means our success isn't determined by how well we serve stockholders, but by how well we serve fellow Nebraskans. It means Nebraskans working 24 hours a day to provide uninterrupted service and affordable electric rates to other Nebraskans. Always there when you need us. NPPD. Together with your local public power utility.
Bryan LGH West is bringing advanced neuroscience technology to Nebraska, offering the state's first gamma knife radiosurgery to non-invasively treat brain tumors and severe facial pain, and working with Nebraska's only physician specially trained in coiling for brain aneurysms. Just 2 examples of our commitment to neuroscience care for Nebraskans and our neighbors. Bryan LGH, the first name in healthcare.
Sunday morning at 10 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Getting ready to start the third quarter of action, and you heard Josh Lutke in his comments to Kyle D'Elia. He didn't use these words, but I get the sense that he would like to turn this second half into a street fight. He said Bellevue West getting away with some hand checks, and you know, he said if they're going to allow us to play physical, we're going to play physical. Well, maybe that's the way that you can beat these guys, is to start to throw a few elbows, and get a little nasty out there.
Exactly. Well, Josh Lutke's a former quarterback, of course, with UNO and the Lincoln Lightning and Lincoln Capitals. So he knows what he's like to lay down the smackdown.
Well, they're going to have to lay a couple of early body blows here in this second half to get back in this game. They're down by 16. Zach Potter back on the floor. Temme into the front court for Bellevue West. They got a stop on their first possession. Here's An offensive board off his own miss. Missed.
Oh, man.
Ball tipped out of there, and here comes Martin. He'll pull up for three. Short, and the rebound to Potter. A look inside for Burnham, and another steal. Here comes more fast break in Bellevue West. More for Doetzler. He just keeps racking them up. 10 points. It's now an 18-point game.
Guards have got to take better care of the basketball. Bellevue West just playing too many passing lanes. The way to beat that, you go back door and you go to your big man.
Oh, and that one should have been a goaltend. That looked like a goaltend from here.
Yeah, but still, you got to love the hustle.
Oh, no question. No question. And just like that, they go baseline. I could have swore that ball was coming back down, but Jenkins got up in the air and knocked it away.
Nowhere to go with the basketball. They get called for the 5 seconds. Creighton Prep just cannot answer the bell when it comes to this pressure. Bellevue West has them completely out of their game, and there you see the tie coming undone of Josh Lutke a little bit. I don't know how much more of this he's going to put up with.
I don't know if he has a choice now. And they're going to get a foul here. Chris Howard's going to be whistled with his second. First team foul of the second half against the Birds. 90 seconds in, and already it's 44-24. Jenkins. Up ahead to Marion. Three was partially blocked, but Creighton Prep with the offensive board.
Hank Jenkins had big threes in the quarterfinals and semifinals. We have not heard from him today.
And another block. Last touch by Doetzler. It will remain Creighton Prep basketball.
That's a big part of their game, John. Hank Jenkins knocking down shots. He had that big shot before the half on Thursday. Remember, They sort of turned the tide against Lincoln Southeast. Well, that has not been there today.
Jenkins trying to find Potter. Outside Marion. Long two rolls down. Marion. 44-26. Bellevue West by 18. 5:47 left. They don't take their time on offense. Got bodies colliding. People falling to the floor. Doetzler. Outside to Meyer. To the baseline, off the side of the glass. Ball tipped around. Temmie comes down with it for Bellevue West. That'll be a foul.
We get Martin there on the push. And you said earlier, Martin's a player, again, that goes under the radar because of all the attention that Josh Doetzler get, but
averages 11 points a game.
That's right. Bellevue West coach Doug Woodard says Martin also very highly recruited. He expects him to definitely be playing college basketball next season, possibly at a Division I.
And another foul. Got Bellevue West. It's a quick third foul, I beg your pardon, third foul. Well, maybe Josh Lutke's words to the officials as he was going into the locker room might have inspired a few things. That's the second foul on Meyer. 5:17 left here in the third quarter. Junior Jay's down by 18.
Oh!
And another foul. This one on Jenkins.
Wow.
Well.
They're going to get Jenkins with the foul. It looked like that the left foot of Richard Marion kind of dragged along on that court. He was going to get called for a travel. Instead, they get Jenkins, and Jenkins not going to come out of the game.
It's just his first foul, but it's already the fourth team foul, and we haven't even played 3 minutes of this quarter yet. However, the big stat says Thunderbirds by 18. This is Andrew Cannon. Potter.
Nice. You can't stop that.
You can't front that big body.
No, it's impossible. You can be physical with them all you want, but if you're Jake Meyer and Zach Potter catches it that deep, that's not where you want him to have the basketball. That's a big advantage Prep has, and one they have to keep exploiting if they want to win this game.
Chris Howard, Martin for three. They just keep coming. 13 points for Martin, 47-28. Temmie takes it through the lane, gives it off to Potter. Those plays are great if you can keep getting them. Now you got to make some stops.
Yeah, got to get a stop down here.
Ball fumbled around.
It's going to be a foul.
Yep. It's going to go on Meyer.
Boy, you're right. They must have heard Josh Lutke because the calls that Creighton Prep wasn't getting in the first half, they've picked up here in the second half. And it sort of changed the tide of the game. You see how fouls can kind of dictate the tide of the game. We saw in the last game,
right.
Billiter picked up the early two. Loomis did not have a good first half. Maybe was the difference in the entire game when you look back at it. And now to start this second half, Creighton Prep, the momentum shifting a little bit. Still down 17, but it could be a lot worse.
Temmie across the timeline. And he lost it. Still a lot of pressure from Bellevue West. They're so deep that they can just keep coming at you. Doesn't matter if one guy gets into trouble, you can always bring in another. 47-30, even though they've got 5 fouls, Thunderbirds are still up by 17.
Programming on NETV is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. Soy biodiesel is a soy-based, clean-burning, renewable fuel that can be blended with petroleum diesel to help reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. Soy biodiesel, making a difference for soybean farmers and you.
Funding is provided in part by the Dr. Thomas and Dorothy Hallstrom Fund, created to support broadcasting of the Nebraska State High School basketball tournament.
Sunday morning at 10 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You know, the old-fashioned basketball mentality where you got to have a big guy underneath and a couple of good forwards, especially one that can shoot, a point guard, a good shooting guard. You know, that's become an old-fashioned axiom of basketball. You watch a team like Bellevue West, they don't really have a true post player, but they have played at such a high level the last few seasons, going for back-to-back state championships. Just like South Sioux City has for girls, it's almost as if Bellevue West is changing the way that teams now play in Class A boys basketball.
As they should. Bellevue West just plays at a different speed. You mentioned they don't have the dominant big man, but each one of their guys plays at a speed that is higher of their opponent. When you put it all together, it makes for a lethal package on defense and on offense because every player can shoot the basketball.
Plus that, it's also very much a team concept, even though we talk a lot about Josh Dotzler, who has the Division I credentials. You've got 4 players on this team that average in double figures. Jenkins back in the game, pull-up jumper, rolls off no, and the rebound to Creighton Prep. But let's go back a couple of months to January and the Omaha shootout at the Quest Center. There's a 3 and a big one for Hank Jenkins, 47-33. The game between Bellevue West and Kansas City O'Hara was billed as the Josh Dotzler versus Marcus Walker show.
Right.
And Marcus Walker, yeah, he went off for 36 points, but he also fouled out of the game. Josh Dotzler nearly has a triple-double, 14, 10 assists, 6 steals. But you look at those individual numbers and you'd think Kansas City O'Hara was in the game. They were not. Thunderbirds jumped out to an 18-point lead, and they ended up winning the game by 13 in a game that really wasn't that close.
I think you're exactly right. They have raised the level and set the bar for the future of Nebraska high school basketball. This team is that good.
Now, you do have a lot of seniors on this team, a lot of influential players who will be leaving at season's end, so that's going to change as Jenkins drills another 3. He's got 8. It's 50-33. So for Bellevue West to maintain this pace next year is going to be a little more challenging, but for now they are superior. Jenkins again. Yes.
Man. As I said, this kid is special. You mentioned that second team. He would definitely be on that All-State second team.
No question. Be a heck of a game. Through the lane, Temmie. And a foul. Billy Delano. That's team foul number 7 against the Bellevue West Thunderbirds. But the hole just keeps getting deeper. It's a 20-point spread now as Andy King will go to the free throw line. King has 2 points this afternoon. 5 state championship game appearances since 1991, 4 since 1999, and they've won 2 of them. They're about to make it 3. Unless Creighton Prep can do something dramatically different.
You know, you look at this game too. Creighton Prep hasn't really played a bad game. Bellevue West has just been that good. They've just played at another level.
Nearly tied up. Martin for 3. No good. Rebound to Potter. He's got 12 rebounds in this game. I mean, he's getting about what you'd expect, but still not as much on the offensive side as you would like. Fadeaway jump shot short. Ball tipped around right back into the hands of the Junior Jays. Everyone scrambling for it. Last touch by Bellevue West. 46 seconds left here in the third quarter of a rapidly played third quarter. Dominated, as has the entire game, by Bellevue West.
There you get a look at, you saw Josh Dotzler on the bench. He's not a player that I think would need a break throughout the course of the game. He's the type of player you just plug in there, have him play the whole way.
Third foul on Jake Meyer, number 8 against Bellevue West. But even though, again, you'd look at the foul situation and think, well, hey, the Jays are crawling their way back into this game. They're getting the calls. It's not that way. Temmie makes the first. Substitutions coming in. And that's the other thing. Bellevue West is so deep, and they can continue to play at that frenetic pace, that you have to have a deep bench as well.
That's right. That's right. You've got to be ready for it.
And I dare say that Bellevue West's second wave is better than some teams' first.
Oh, absolutely.
But again, that's part of the way they play. You have to play this style. You have to have a deep bench, or else it just doesn't work for you.
You got to have the athletes. You got to have the system. Bellevue West has the system. One of the rare times they're going to pull it out and hold for the last shot. Let's see who takes it.
Martin would be a good candidate. He had it for a moment to Young. 9 seconds left. Young's going to take it through the lane, and it is no good because it's a charge. The basket went through, but it's a charge.
Offensive foul on number 30, Antoine Young, his third personal foul, 19 fouls.
That's his third. Creighton Prep with an opportunity in the last 5 seconds. They're going to have to hurry it up, though. From half court, just off the front of the rim. Almost went in for Seth Baer. Final 8 minutes of the Class A championship game when we come back. Bellevue West by 18.
Bryan LGH West is bringing advanced neuroscience technology to Nebraska, offering the state's first gamma knife radiosurgery to non-invasively treat brain tumors and severe facial pain, and working with Nebraska's only physician specially trained in coiling for brain aneurysms. Just 2 examples of our commitment to neuroscience care for Nebraskans and our neighbors. Bryan LGH, the first name in healthcare.
Sunday morning at 10 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
If you look at the rebounding statistics in this game, Creighton Prep has nearly twice as many rebounds as Bellevue West, 32-17. But it's turnovers that have been a killer here. Turnovers in that in the first 3 quarters, 19-4. And how many points was that off turnovers? 24 points off of turnovers for Bellevue West in this game. Well, your difference right now is 18 points, 24 points off of turnovers. It's been a big part of their game, been a big part of their season. Temmie for 3.
There it is.
Another rebound, this time an easy putback for Richard Marion, 53-37. Jake Meyer for 3.
Every player, you saw Meyer catch the ball. Every player thinks like a scorer on this Bellevue West team. That's the difference. Most big men would just take the pass and kick it to the other side. Meyer looking to shoot it.
Another near turnover there. Offensive rebound off the glass. No. Here comes Doetzler. Martin. Pull-up jumper is good, and a foul, and it counts. And here again, you look at the numbers, it looks pretty even. But Bellevue West not afraid to keep attacking. Attack.
Pass is good by Jeff Martin.
Here's Jeff Martin with 15 points. He leads all scorers. .22 spread.
Martin's got great size to be a guard at the next level. He's got an outstanding touch. And he's played in a great system. He's going to be an outstanding player, I think, even at the next level.
Temmie for Potter. And he is fouled. He'll go to the line, and already it's a double bonus for Omaha Creighton Prep. So Zach Potter will go to the free throw line. 12 rebounds in this game. And 8 points. He will play defensive end at Nebraska, but as we've also seen, he's got the skills to play tight end.
And he's also got the skills to be a basketball player. I mean, you look at Zach Potter. Usually when you have a football player out there playing basketball, you can tell. But if Zach Potter wasn't a football player, I think he would be good enough to be a college basketball player. I mean, he moves that well. He's got a great stroke.
Now, imagine this. A few years ago, St. Paul had a point guard by the name of Lauren Kaiser, who was about the same size as Zach Potter. He was running the point, and I've never seen a guy that size run the point. He ran it very well. St. Paul getting to the state championship a few years ago. That's something that was always stuck in my mind about Lauren Kaiser. As good a football player as he was, he ran a pretty good point. It's just odd to see someone of that size, out there dribbling around like that's his job, and that was his job.
Well, we saw Kurt Mann do it.
Yeah.
Remember 4 years ago when he played with Wes Wilkinson for Grand Island. Kurt Mann was mainly a post player, usually for his big body. He moved well, but Zach Potter, I think, definitely moves like a basketball player. He doesn't look like a football player on a basketball court. He looks like a basketball player.
Free throws coming up for Ben Burnham. That's his 3rd point of the day. 59-39.
Check it in for Bellevue West, number 52.
Billy Delano back in the game.
Check it in for Creighton Prep, number 12, Andy Cannon.
Andy Cannon now in. He'll play the ball inbounds, or play the man with the ball inbounds.
Rare turnover.
Rare turnover, only the 5th of the game. Bellevue West has shot 25 threes in this game. They've made 10. Temi in the backcourt. Jenkins. Under 6 minutes left in the game. Bellevue West by 19. Potter. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Let him get away with one there, and Doug Woodard going to let the officials know about that.
Yeah, that was Billy Delano taking a shot that time. Looked like he took an elbow from Zach Potter. Josh Lukey complaining about something over there, but it was Delano who bore the brunt of that last play.
5:46 left. Tempers are flaring, but the Birds are up by 17.
Programming is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 15 years, Education Quest has offered free college planning services. These services include scholarship searches, student loan information, college selection, and help with completing financial aid application. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments are available at 800-666-3721.
Hi folks, I'm Ricky Skaggs. Join me for All-Star Bluegrass Celebration. History in the making with the legends, the stars, and a new generation of bluegrass music, all on the same stage and only on public television.
Coming soon to NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
We have seen some hard hits today, but this last one, take a look right there. Billy Delano of Bellevue West joining the School of Hard Knocks, John, taking the elbow from Zach Potter. No foul called, score the 2.
Well, in the Big 12 Conference, you hit the quarterback in the head, they're going to nail you with a 15-yard penalty. So hopefully Zach will remember that when it comes time to sack quarterbacks. 59-42, 5:27 left to play. Martin. This might be the longest possession in the game for Bellevue West. Martin. Pull up 2. Good. Martin's got 18 points.
Player open down court. He sees him.
Needs to go up and finish. And does. Andy Cannon from Joseph Temi. 61-44. But back the other way quickly. Martin. Nice shot. This kid really has a great shot.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, so underrated are some of these players for Bellevue West.
He's 8 of 14 in this game. 63-44, down through the lane. Temi missed it.
That's just not Creighton Prep's game. Bellevue West will force you to get out of your game. Now they're going to slow it down again. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take some time off the clock here.
4:15 left. To the baseline. Traveling. 4:04 left to go. More substitutions coming in for Bellevue West. Jamal Evans into the game. So too is Jace Fredenberg for Bellevue West.
Well, this has got to wear on you. Still pressing after a while. Wow, the conditioning, such a factor.
To the lane, to charge. Temi has to scrape himself off the deck. Well, if you're the rest of Class A, I have good news for you. Jamal Evans, Chris Howard, J.T. Fluellen, Josh Dotzler, Michael Jenkins, Jace Vredenberg, Trey Lamont, and Billy Delano are all seniors. However, Jeff Martin returns, Jake Meyer returns. As far as those players who have made significant contributions, it'll be a rebuilding year of sorts next year, but it's not like Bellevue West hasn't gone through that before. As I mentioned, their 5th state tournament championship game appearance in the last 14 years, their 4th appearance in the last 7 years. Henry Jenkins, Hank for 2. Jay's not giving up the ship, but Bellevue West just a little too quick. That is the 6th team foul against the Jays. 2nd foul on Richard Marion.
Gotta wonder, John, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, but how would Bellevue West fare against some of the other recent Class A state champions? I know there's no way they can play, but at least you gotta think, how does this team stack up with some of the other dynasties that have gone through Nebraska high school basketball?
I'm just trying to remember. I still remember the 4th state title in a row by Lincoln Northeast. They didn't sub the entire game. There's no way they would have been able to get away with that strategy against this team as fast as they play. And that, in my opinion, those 4 Northeast teams were some of the best we've ever seen. To win 4 straight titles is hard, but in Class A, it's really hard. We'll talk more about that when we come back. Final 2:46 after this.
The 2005 State High School Basketball Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Soybean Chuck-Off, promoting soy biodiesel fuel, clean burning and renewable, making a difference for soybean farmers and you. Education Quest Foundation, improving access to college through scholarships, community grants, and college planning services. NPPD, always there when you need us. Bryan LGH Medical Center, the first name in healthcare, and by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska. The Blues are good for you.
Sunday morning at 10 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Bellevue West 2:46 away from a repeat championship, and as we were talking before the break, how does this team stack up individually against some of the other great teams who have won state championships? To be quite honest with you, at least in the 10 years I've been doing this is the best team. In my mind, the best team, even though they don't have a true post player. And some of those Northeast teams, we had Mike Hahn, for example, who was a great inside threat for Lincoln Northeast, but you have to be able to match their athleticism, and you have to have a deep bench to play with this team.
So would you say this is the best team in all classes that you have seen since you've been doing this?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Without question. As good as those Northeast teams were, I think this team is better. And of course, you know, the more recent is going to make a bigger impact in your memory. And I know there are guys that at Northeast think, we could have hung with these guys, no question, we'd have beaten them. And those Northeast teams were great teams. Very good teams. I guess it would depend a lot on how the game is called. I mean, I guarantee you, if the game in the first half were called the way it was here it is in the second half,
right,
it might have been a different case. And that's not necessarily critical of the officials.
He has been a pest, Josh
Dotzler, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's just, depending on the flow and everything else, games can be called differently.
Right.
But, I look at the margin of victory. They average 82 points a game. They give up 55 a game for a Class A basketball team.
It's amazing.
And a team that has played O'Hara in Kansas City, who is, I believe, a Final Four team in their class in Missouri. Kickapoo, Missouri, who was a Final Four team in their class in Missouri. And they beat them both soundly. And then the way that they've pretty much dominated the rest of the schedule, their only loss was to Omaha Central by 1 point. But you just look at some of the final scores. They've beaten Creighton Prep. This will be the third win by double digits over Creighton Prep.
Right.
They beat Lincoln East, a very good team, by 24. Beat Southeast by 14. I look down at some of the quality of teams that they've played and the final scores. They've run roughshod over people.
Yep.
You just don't see that in Class A. It's not unusual to see it in the smaller classifications, but not in Class A do you see a team that's this dominant.
That's right.
Which also goes back to emphasize a point we made earlier, as Josh Doetzler will come off the floor for the last time in a Bellevue West uniform. The next time he plays in this building would be his second year at Creighton. But we talked earlier in the broadcast today about Wahoo's amazing 114-game winning streak. As great as this Bellevue West team is, there's a long three for Ben Burnham. But as great as this team is, even they didn't go undefeated.
That's right.
So when I talk about this being the best team I've seen, Wahoo came just a little bit before my time. I only watched from afar. I wasn't here courtside. So that just gives you an idea how great they were.
That's amazing, too. You got to ask yourself, how does Bellevue West lose this year? I'll say one thing. To beat Bellevue West, you've got to have athletes that match their style. Omaha Central has that.
Right.
But still, with the great point guard and Doetzler and just the headiness of Martin and just the way Jenkins plays, still you got to wonder, how do they lose? Omaha Central, even though they're not in this game, at least they can say we beat Bellevue West in the year 2005 when they were at their best.
Well, maybe next year will be a chance for teams to get some revenge. As we mentioned, a lot of good players graduating from this program. As you take a look at Josh Lutke for Creighton Prep, they're very much a senior-laden ball club as well. Andrew Cannon, Joe Temme, Seth Bear, Matt Miller, Zach Potter, Dan Glassman, Ben Burnham, all graduating this year. Got to give some credit to Prep, though. They lost 6 games this year, and at one point it didn't look as promising, but they went on a pretty good run at the end of the season, winning 8 of 9, and then they went through a pretty solid district. And then I don't think a lot of people gave them a chance against Central, being the more athletic team, but they came out and played their game yesterday, and they knocked off the number 2 rated team in the state. Number 2 by some people's estimation. Three on the way is short. Rebound pulled down by Matt Miller. 65-49. 3 on the way, no. Rebound tapped around, loose ball. And that'll be a travel as Trey Lamont, one of the seniors, dragged his pivot foot. Final players off the bench will come into the game. Tyler Vandermint, Jamal Evans.
See a couple of great players come out of the game. Michael Jenkins. And we're going to see Jeff Martin also come out of the game. Like we said, Josh Doetzler gets a lot of the props for this Bellevue West team, but he had a couple of great wings that he's played with throughout his career. 2 outstanding players.
3 is off the back of the iron from Jenkins. Oh, we've got some pushing and shoving going on. Maybe some frustration.
The enforcer.
Checking in for the Junior Jays,
It's been a frustrating afternoon for Creighton Prep. They were in the game in the first quarter, but that second quarter 20-8 run really opened this game up.
Josh Lukey's going to have a bright future with this program, only a second year there. He says already we've seen the highs and we've seen the lows, but I like the direction of this program.
Antoine Young with his 7th point of the afternoon. Stay tuned after the game. Medal presentations and an interview with the state champs. Bellevue West will repeat in Class A. The first team to repeat since that Northeast juggernaut won 4 in a row. .29 seconds left. They're still running even with the reserves. But Vanderbilt could not get the layup. Down the floor, Jenkins, travel. Oh no, I'm sorry, charge. Josh Lukey can only shake his head.
It's been that kind of afternoon, just frustrating. There goes Hank Jenkins. He had a heck of a tournament.
11 points on day 1, 14 yesterday. 67-49. 10 seconds left. For the third time since 2000, the Bellevue West Thunderbirds are Class A state champions. And we'll be back for the medal presentations right after this.
Hi folks, I'm Ricky Skaggs. Join me for All-Star Bluegrass Celebration. History in the making with the legends, the stars, and a new generation of bluegrass music, all on the same stage and only on public television.
Coming soon to NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
For the second straight year, Bellevue West are the state champions of Class A, 67-49 over Creighton Prep. We'll get the medal presentations for the runners-up and the champs in just a moment. First, it's the Sportsmanship Award. Here again is Rich Broderson, our public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska Coaches Association and the Nebraska Athletic Administrators Association are proud to support the positive aspects of high school athletics. Good sportsmanship is a key factor in our philosophy, and at this time we are pleased to present the Class A Sportsmanship Award. The trophies are graciously donated by Awards Unlimited. Making the presentations are Jim Eberly of Red Cloud High School and Dan Kieser of Cambridge High School. The Class A Sportsmanship Award winner is Bellevue West High School. Receiving the award is Athletic Director Kevin Broderick. And cheerleader captains Rachel Hanline and Caitlin Hania. Congratulations. The Nebraska School Activities Association is pleased to present medals and trophies to both of these outstanding teams. The awards will be presented by NSAA Board of Control members Dr. Bob Resnicek of Omaha Westside and Chuck Hafer of Mullen. They'll be assisted by U.S. Bank Representative Dolores Tierway. First, here are the awards for the 2005 Class A runner-up from Omaha Creighton Prep High School. Well, head coach Josh Lutke and your assistant step toward the middle of the court to present the silver medals to each member of your team. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 3, Richard Marion. Number 4, Hank Jenkins. Number 32, Andy King. Number 54, Dan Harmon. And now the seniors. Number 12, Andy Cannon. Number 15, Joe Temmie. Number 21, Seth Baer. Number 22, Matt Miller. Number 30, Nick McCormick. Number 44, Zach Potter. Number 50, Dan Glassman. And number 52, Ben Burnham. Gentlemen, all of you are welcome to receive the runner-up trophy for your school. Congratulations, Omaha Creighton Prep High School, 2005 Class A State runner-up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to the champions from Bellevue West High School. First, head coach Doug Woodard, we have a special coaches award for you. Now, coach, hand out the gold medals to your championship team members. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 4, Jake Meyer. Number 14, Tyler Vandermint. Number 30, Antoine Young. Number 32, Jeff Martin. And to the seniors, number 3, Jamal Evans. Number 5, Chris Howard. Number 10, J.T. Fluellen. Number 12, Josh Totzler. Number 20, Michael Jenkins. Number 24, Jace Fredenberg. Number 50, Trey Lamont. And number 52, Billy Delano. And now, gentlemen, all of you are welcome to receive the state championship trophy. Congratulations to the Thunderbirds of Bellevue West High School, the 2005 Class A state basketball champions.
Coach, that fine line between competitiveness and true love and passion for your guys. You just ran into a juggernaut, and what I'm getting at, it was great to see you show the emotion and love at the end, and that's what this is all about.
Oh, it is. Bell West is a great team. They're probably one of the best teams that's ever played, probably within the last 15, 20 years. I mean, it would have taken a great effort, and there's a reason they've only lost once, and I'm very proud of my guys. They fought hard. There are a lot of people that would have never gave us a chance to win districts, and this is a good basketball team. Unfortunately, there's no other team in the state that can show you the pressure that Bell West gives you, and they whether they use their hands a lot or not, they just pressure the heck out of you, and we didn't handle it very well today, and that was the game right there. We needed to value the ball. 14 first half turnovers can't happen, not against Bell West.
Coach, hey, nothing to hang your head.
No,
appreciate the true passion and love. A lot of college teams would have went down to the T-Birds. That's the Josh Lutke, the community knows, class and pride. Runner-up, Creighton Prep, your winner, the T-Birds, with Josh and then, Drew, and then John Bishop at the desk.
This week on Statewide, we'll talk one-on-one with Mike Johans about his new job as Secretary of Agriculture and his old job as Nebraska's governor. Plus, term limits are the talk of the legislature.
The effects of term limits with these folks gone are going to be unreal.
Be more informed. Watch Statewide this weekend on NETV.
If you want to figure out which way the economy is going, count trucks. I know a guy who runs a chain of truck stops. He says when he sees fewer trucks, he knows that 6 months later, the economy is going to slow down. Well, what's happening now? I'm David Brancaccio, and for that, well, you'll have to tune in to Marketplace.
Marketplace, weeknights at 6:30 Central on NET Radio.
Next time on Nature, it's called Operation Migration. The goal? To teach these captive whooping cranes how to be wild. It may look silly, but it's all in the name of serious science.
Sunday night at 7 Central Time on NET1. You're watching NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
Get ready for session number 2. Thank you.
(67-49), Bellevue West back-to-back state championships, just to give you an idea of how tough that can be in Class A. As we mentioned, the last team to repeat as Class A champions was Lincoln Northeast when they ripped off 4 in a row. And then you got to go back to the late 80s when Millard South did it in back-to-back years. It just does not happen very often. It gives you an idea how good this team is. And Josh Lutke mentioned the same thing we had mentioned during our broadcast. This may be one of the best Class A basketball teams, well, regardless of class, one of the best basketball teams we've ever seen in Nebraska high school basketball. Final numbers on this one, the big difference was the turnovers, 22-8. If you can stay under 10 turnovers in college, in pro, and high school basketball, you're playing a heck of a game, and Bellevue West did that today. And true to form, they've got 4 players who average in double figures. That's what they had today. Jeff Martin leading the way with 20 points. Josh Dotzler with 10. In fact, a very Josh Dotzler-like day. 10 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. Michael Jenkins finished with 11. Jake Meyer with 10. For Creighton Prep, they were led by Zach Potter, who had 11 points and 13 rebounds. Final score is 67-49. There's a lot of emotion out here on the floors. Many of the players are mingling with their parents, and it's been a very, very good last couple of years for Bellevue West. A lot of these players are really going to miss this experience, but they need to cherish it while they can. Speaking of cherishing it, Doug Woodard, one of the top coaches in the state, wins again. Let's go meet him with Andrew.
Thanks, John. We're back now in the winner's circle with Doug Woodard. And, Coach, this was a typical Bellevue West-style basketball game, just turned up the volume a few notches, and everything you guys did seemed to be successful out there today.
Well, the pressure in the second quarter, I think they had a very good first quarter and handled our pressure well and scored some easy baskets. But I think we were able to get a lot of people in that first quarter, and I think the depth wore on them a little bit, and we had a good run there. And then we were just able to keep it right about there, stretch out a little bit. But you can't say enough about prep, the effort they gave. They improved more than any team in the state as the season went on. Coach Lukey did a great job with those kids, and they just ran out a little bit of gas today.
What can you say about your kids? John and I compared them during the broadcast to some of the best teams we have seen in Nebraska high school basketball. You really set the standard here with your program. Where do you see this thing going in the future?
Well, I mean, we obviously want to stay playing the same level we've been playing, and that's what we expect to do. By the same token, you don't get Josh Dotzlers and Mike Jenkins and the rest of those seniors, those 8 seniors. You don't get people like that, every year. This is high school, but we certainly feel that we'll be competing at a high level year to year. But the credit goes to those seniors. They've set a tremendously high standard of work ethic, of character, of unselfishness that is better than whatever I've ever been around.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Let's get some of your players in here now. First, we're going to bring in, come on in here. How's it going? Congratulations. This is Chris Howard, the senior for Bellevue West. Talk about battling on the inside with some great players they had down there.
Zach Potter, Dan Glassman, they're amazing players. Prep, it's amazing what they've done, and it was great to get to play against them. I got to give my credit to my teammates, Bake, all the other big guys, Billy. It's tough to board with those guys and to bang with them, but we pulled it out.
In fact, let's bring your teammate in here right now. This is what's going on. Jake Meyer, congratulations. All right, talk about Zach Potter. A lot of talk was focused on him, I guess, the Husker football recruit. You guys were able to turn it into your game, though, in that second quarter.
Yeah, we just had to do our best, front him, double down. I mean, he's going to get his points, but tried our best to contain him best we could.
I want you guys to both tell me how fun has it been playing for this team and this program?
It's been incredible. This group of guys really come together over these past 2 years, and I don't know, I just can't really describe it. The team bonding and unity we have, it's awesome.
The team chemistry we have is just amazing, and we love each other, and we're all going to miss each other. Us seniors are going to miss it. Coach Woodard, Coach Willett, Coach Morrow, Coach Buzz, Coach Wharton. We're going to miss every one of them.
That's awesome, guys. Congratulations. Hand the trophy off now to your teammate, Jeff Martin. And, Jeff, let's bring Michael Jenkins in here, too. Get in here, guys. You guys, should I say dynasty here? I mean, you guys have raised the level of basketball in Nebraska and really set a new standard, it seems like.
Yeah, we have. It's a great team. Mike and I, he's a senior. I'm a junior. I'm coming back next year with Jake Meyer. We also have 7 other seniors that have been great, and it's been a great time. These past 2 years is just amazing. How can a team just come together and just play so well together? It's great. It's the best thing ever.
Mike, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, you think?
It is. Everybody's fortunate to get here, and we've been here twice, and nobody's done that here since about Lincoln Northeast, and it's just great being here.
Josh Dotzler, come on in here as we take a look here at some of the highlights. Mr. Jenkins spotting up for the three-pointer. This is a special moment for you, your final high school game before you head off to Creighton. Talk about what it means to play with these guys. Some good artillery you had here.
Oh, no, it means a lot to play with these guys. The whole season, last 2 years, we've had so much fun playing together. We worked hard together. And for it to all pay off after all these years is unbelievable.
What are you going to remember most, final question, what are you going to remember most about this team?
The way we would have fun together every single day in practice. Even though it would be tough, no matter what, we'd pick each other up and continue to encourage each other. And I think that's what, in the end, brought us together.
You guys, congratulations. Hang on to that trophy. These guys, Class X, Bellevue West, you can see why. 2-time now Class A state champions. A dynasty. John and I compared them to some of the best players that have ever played in Nebraska high school basketball. They certainly have set a new standard. All right, congratulations again to Bellevue West. That is going to do it for the end of our first session here at Devaney Center. For 10-11 viewers, we will now join Big 12 basketball coverage. After Big 12 basketball, we will return to the Devaney Sports Center for the D1 state championship. We will likely pick up that game as it is in progress here from Devaney Center. So be sure and keep it here. If you want to catch the beginning of that game, you can always click over to NET Sports. Until then, for John Bishop and Kyle D'Elia, I'm Andrew Felios. We got more basketball on 10-11 coming up next.
Coverage of the 2005 State High School Basketball Championships has been brought to you in part by Nebraska Community Colleges, State Farm Insurance, Southeast Community College, E10 Unleaded, Nebraska Abstinence Education Program, Doane College, Nebraska's Livestock Industry, One Oak Energy Marketing, Hastings College, NC Plus Hybrid, Option Herbicides, Nebraska Tire, and Nebraska Wesleyan.
This is NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station. This is the place for great television and radio, and it's the place for excellent educational programming for teachers and their students, parents and their children. This is NET, the home of public television, public radio, and educational services for all Nebraska. To make it easier to remember that we're all part of the same family, we've changed our names. For public television, think NET Television. For public radio, think NET Radio. For instructional programming, think NET Learning Services. The programs and the people are the same, only our name has changed. This is NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station, and the channel you're watching is NET1.